Hello, my name is Wheel, and welcome back to the Wheelhouse. It's been a little while. It has been I don't believe I've actually made a Wheelhouse since like around the beginning of the summer, or maybe I could be wrong about this. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll show it in post. I'm stupid, but I believe I am correct that it has been a little bit. No, just a slightly little bit. I've been very busy doing a lot of stuff with YouTube and all of that, as you've seen. I've posted. I was ended up posting 2 videos this summer, and those were I'm pretty proud of. Definitely. I mean, the fishing video was just really massive, and the one before that, the creating movies in Minecraft. Um, it definitely took longer just because I broke my foot. That's something that happened. I don't think I've made. I think I streamed. I believe I streamed. Yeah, I streamed on the Wheelhouse earlier this summer to kind of explain the broken foot situation. But I it is a lot better. If anyone is curious, I am actually walking on it now, and technically I am supposed to be at 100%, or I will be at least within the next week. I'm definitely not there. There's definitely, like, if I move it in some places, there's still some pain. So I think I do need to get some, like, physical therapy too, and stuff like that. But you know, that's for future me to worry about. And anyways, that is actually not what we're talking about today. This Wheelhouse episode, actually, it is pretty large, encompassing. I think this one's a very big episode. Where I'm mostly going to be talking about kind of school, because don't know if you knew or if you read the title. I am now in senior year of high school, which is a little crazy. It definitely went faster than I thought it would, which kept being told a lot by a lot of people, but so it's not necessarily that much surprise, but anyways, so yeah, final week of senior year. So I wanted to kind of talk about that, how that's been going. I also want to talk about some past school experiences, because I think I might have touched on them slightly, but I kind of want to like fully dig into it. I was thinking originally of doing an episode like this after I graduated, but I think it's good to do one now, and then maybe revisit this after I actually graduate, whether that be in another episode or in a stream or something like that. I'm also gonna, kind of just generically, like, it's kind of a show, like, okay, what's going on with YouTube? What's it's gonna look like for the rest of the year? Because earlier this year, when I was still in school, like before summer and all of that, I didn't actually post. And to be honest, I can't fully give a reason why. It's honestly a blur. I don't know what was happening. I mean, there was a lot of things happening, like the musical. We were working on the Minecraft musical at the time, so there was technically stuff being done during that time. I believe then we were also working or trying to start a lore project that we ended up canceling, and we also ended up canceling the musical. So definitely the first half this year didn't go as well. It really didn't go as well. In summer, I was like, okay, we need to take a step back. Take a step back. Let's go for the smaller picture. I think definitely I never really failed at projects before or have canceled them. New Bloom Rewind was my first project, like first big project, and since then it was kind of like, okay, well, next project, and none of them ever really got canceled, and that was cool because we always did it. But was the everything's getting canceled year. I believe the lore stuff this year. The lore stuff might have been late last year. I could be very wrong about that, and that is very much a possibility. But anyways, doesn't matter. So definitely, I've kind of like okay, because like I really want to grow my YouTube channel. That's always been the number one goal for me. I mean, I guess that's why I want my number one goal to be. I wouldn't say always been that. Sometimes just like, okay, how cool can I make this specific video? Even if like people outside don't get it, like people who are subscribed to me currently and people you watching me right now, most likely, you understood it and you found it very entertaining. But it's definitely me needing to try to like focus more and kind of post stuff that will kind of gain more attention. So that was definitely my goal. Like I'm trying to crack down on myself, and for me, like I am suspending myself from doing projects at the moment. Even this next video I'm doing is a little bit big. It's a little bit big, but I think it is normal video length. Like I don't want to work on a video for more than a month at the moment. I think that's too much. I think that's way too much. So it's definitely, it's definitely been about balance, honestly. And even with school now, like this year has very much been like learning how to balance everything and how much of stuff I'm able to do in order to succeed. Like obviously earlier this year, I did too big stuff during school, and I wasn't balancing that right. Or school is something I can't push off, because I still want to do good in school, and I was doing good in school. I know I am still doing good in school. I don't know, I say was. I mean, I'm in the first week of school. I have no grades. But it's definitely like, okay, we have to make sure school stuff, then YouTube stuff, because if I start filling school stuff, then I get in trouble, and then I can't do YouTube stuff. So in order to do YouTube stuff, I gotta do the school stuff. So very much like there's a balance of that. Summer was kind of awesome in terms of like the previous summers. I've always traveled. I always wanted to have like a big summer where like I had nothing else to do besides edit. I was actually supposed to get a job this summer. I've said this earlier. I did get a job actually, but then my foot broke and I'm like, oh, I can't do this anymore because the job just required a lot of standing and walking around, which was something I could not do. So I had to quit it, which was a great opportunity for me to actually go into the YouTube stuff. But I think definitely a struggle I had over this summer was like, okay, I'm getting burnt out because there's nothing stopping me for just doing this. Or, I mean, there was things here and there, like there was like, oh yeah, I want to play this game, I want to play this game. But besides the occasional game, I was definitely getting pretty burnt out. And what I had to end up doing is started putting in a schedule where I was like, okay, like every 2 times a week, I can't do anything YouTube related, or as much as I can stay away from YouTube. Usually during those break days, I'd actually stream though. So streaming is very different. I was streaming, I just feel like I'm playing a video game, but also it is very draining afterwards. So it was, I don't know if I balanced that well, and I'm still figuring out because I also don't want to take video time away with streams. Very weird balance. But anyways, trying to do kind of these break days where I just don't do stuff. I'll have to look up the video where I got this idea from, because the 2 days aren't back to back. It's like you have a break day, then you either have 3 days in between another break day or 2 days in between. It like goes 3 days on work, break, 2 days on work, break, 3 days on work, break. I think you get the gist. But kind of just trying to work on that schedule, and it definitely, I think, worked a little better. I think I still need to fine tune it a little bit now. But with school, I'm still going to try to use that schedule. And it is getting very difficult. Like also, for example, I started trying D&D over this, around the end of the summer, I guess. Sparrow's, if you didn't know, Sparrow, one of my friends. I mean, if you don't know Sparrow, I don't know how you're watching this. Sparrow runs D&D campaigns. She did a lot with her own personal friends and wanted to bring it in New Bloom. So it's something I've kind of been trying, but the issue with D&D is that it's like a scheduled block of hours, and it could like 4 to 5 hours at a time you do D&D, and we're doing it like trying to do it once a week. That's a lot of time. It's like that's a lot of time 4 to 5, like, yes, it's once a week, but like 4 to 5 hours is very valuable time that I'm kind of sacrificing. I'm not saying like, oh, I regret it, but it definitely is something. Okay, we have to balance that too. So it has very much been a balancing game so far. And with school, I've kind of have a unique schedule senior year where it's a lot easier. So I believe I explained this before, but my school runs on a block schedule. Now, if you don't know what a block schedule is, it's pretty much every Monday I have every period like normal. But then on the rest of the week, it's very different. I only have 3 classes a day, and each class is like doubled in length. So like every Tuesday and Thursday is periods 2, 4, and 6. And then every Wednesday and Friday, it's periods 1, 3, and 5. So it is more like just broken up where like you're just in specific classes for longer, but like you stay the same amount if you're doing every class each day. I don't know if it's better. That's kind of for you to decide. I think for me, it definitely depends on the class. Are there some classes like, oh, this is very beneficial? Another class like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it definitely, I think the schedule definitely does help with kind of limiting homework on some classes. I'd say for math, not really. But I'm not in math this year, and that's awesome because senior year, my school only requires 3 years of math, and I don't need to take a 4th year. So I didn't. I could have. My Christopher did. I'm not. I chose to stay away from it. I'm either that's a smart or dumb decision. Well, I guess time will tell. But it's pretty much like that. So I only have to take a certain amount of classes there. I think you always have to have a minimum of 5 classes that you have to take, which means you can have 1 free period. For the first time in all of high school, I took 1 class away, and I'm only doing 5 classes this year. That means that every like Wednesday and Friday, I get out of like 2 to 3 hours early, which is very nice. Like that 2 and 3 hours could change a lot. That 2 and 3 hours can very much make a difference in my schedule because I'm actually today when I'm recording this, it is one of those days. It's actually the first day where I get off for free, which is very nice. Like right now, I would have gone out right now, but I've been home for like a while. I'm able to rest up. Like I wouldn't be able to come home and record this right now if it was a normal school day. I would be exhausted. And that was the issue with school, is I'd come home and I would be tired from the school day. I'm like, I'm out of it. Like it's very hard to keep motivated when they come to school and you're tired. It's like, okay, I'm going to rest for a little bit. And then by the time I get my energy back and get on, my friends are playing a game. I'm like, oh, shoot, I want to play that game too. So very hard to balance. So now with that schedule, it lets me so I can rest a little bit earlier for a shorter time because I'm not in school for that long. And then get back and actually start working on stuff. And hopefully, that will make a pretty significant change. So I'm very happy to try to get that working and on its way. But anyways, enough about the balancing of life and the issues with that. I kind of want to just talk about my first week of senior year, because it's been very interesting so far. So if you're curious about what classes I actually have this year, you have your generic, U.S. government and English. But my more interesting classes is TV broadcasting, which is pretty much doing the school news, the video production, and there's a yearbook I'm doing this year. This is like kind of a trend I've been following last school year, where I really wanted a lot of my classes to incorporate stuff I do on YouTube. So even while in school, it feels like I'm kind of building my skills for YouTube. Because yearbook, I'm actually like one of the main photo editors in it, aka Photoshop, Lightroom, stuff like that. You know what else I use those programs for? Thumbnails. Yes, very useful. Video production, I hope I don't have to explain that. I hope you understand why I'm taking video production. TV broadcasting, very similar reasoning there. I think TV broadcasting is also a very useful class because it teaches you like deadlines, but like it's deadlines that you, it's kind of deadline that you care about. Like that's weird to say. Like you care about like normal school deadlines, but like these are deadlines that a lot of people are leaning on. Like are like, oh shit, like people are waiting for the specific deadline for the specific thing to come out. So in that way, it is very similar to YouTube. But it also is a lot of video stuff and like just kind of talking to people and stuff like that. So that was very cool. So I've kind of been getting used to that. Most of my teachers are actually pretty nice this year. I have my video production and TV broadcasting teacher are the same teacher, and I've been taking his classes since freshman year of high school. Besides sophomore year, and I'll get back to that later. But pretty much he's known me, like he came to the school my freshman year. Like I had a different teacher, and then he came in, and it's like his first 4 years of teaching. So it's very cool that like I feel like me and him are kind of like on the same page and stuff. But anyways, it's definitely, you know, kind of getting back in the groove of stuff. You know, and also saying, oh shit, like this is the last time it will be the first day or first week of high school ever. You know, it's not gonna be like, okay, next year we go back to high school. So it is definitely like, okay, so it's, you know, kind of just taking it all in. Not that high school is necessarily enjoyable for me. Like, I want to make that very clear. I would say, for the most part, I did not enjoy high school so far, which is most of high school. Senior year, I am definitely trying to be a little bit different. I'm trying to be kind of, you know, more out there, and kind of just more talking to people. But I'm not a fan of high school, and I'll again get back to that. But what stories do I even have of first week? You know, I have a lot of classes with my friends, which are, you know, pretty nice. I actually do have a very interesting story. So, you know, first week of school, a lot of the teachers do icebreakers and stuff. It's part of the first week. It sucks, and I get it. Actually, I think I have 2 icebreaker stories for you here. Let's start with the one that happened actually yesterday. I'm recording this. So, I have this friend. Actually, back up. So, for my U.S. government class, we have to kind of, pretty much, we had to partner up with 2 partners. And the teacher was like, okay, here are like 20 questions. And you guys have to ask each other these questions and write down the answers. And the questions were like, what's your name? You know, what did you do last summer? Yada, yada. And then what would end up happening is at the end of the week, we would go up there. We'd go up to the front of the class. Like both of us, like the 2 partners, or the partner. And they would take turns presenting each other. So, let's say I was presenting, I don't know, Matt. I'm presenting Matt. So I'd go up, I have a paper of him, and Matt's like sitting on a chair. I have my paper out. I'm like, this is Matt. Matt does yada yada this summer and yada yada, whatever. Matt, this is who Matt is. Pretty much, it was just like a pretty simple presentation. But it's also a way for, you know, fellow students to get to know other students. I know it's senior year, but I still think that's important because I don't think all seniors necessarily talk to each other, or like over the school years, or there's new students or whatever. So I was getting ready for that, and I picked my partner, yada yada. That all went well. That is not an issue. Here's where the issue comes in. So I'm on break, like right before the class. I'm just with my friends. And there's this guy. I think you might have heard of him. He was actually in Rewind. His name's Tico. He's definitely going to be in future videos. He was going to be in the musical before that got canceled. So, whoops. But, yeah, he'll actually be on the next video, I believe. Tico decided that it would be a funny haha joke to take his trash that he had for like from his food, so it was like wrappers and like plastic and like just paper and, you know, all that shit, crumple that into a ball and put it in my hood. So I was wearing like a like a jacket that has a hood. And all that stuff's so light that I don't even feel the difference. So nothing said. I guess not really anyone notices besides Tico because he did it. And we all go to class. Sitting in my chair watching the presentation. I think about like 3 or 4 pairs of students go before me. Nothing's been said to me. Still don't know there's trash in my hood. Go up to the front of the class. It's our turn. I am partnered with this girl, and this she's gonna talk about me first. So she gets up to the podium. I'm in the chair right next to her. So whatever, people can see who I am. And she says, "Okay, hi, this is Kai. He yada 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 yada. It was going fine. It was going how it was written." The teacher starts walking up behind me and just stands there. He just stands behind me. I'm like, why is he staying behind me? This is weird. He didn't do this with anyone else. He was kind of just standing off to the side. He ends up reaching in my hood and pulling out the big ball of trash in front of the whole entire classroom. I didn't know what to do there. I don't know if I said any explanation for it. I think the teacher thought that the people behind me put trash in my hood. I think the only comment that he said to me was that I should start having my hood inside out. Thanks, man. that's some good advice there, man. You know what? That would help a lot of issues. So yeah, the teacher pulled out. Let me restate what happened. The teacher pulled out trash out of my hood in the middle of the class when when people are learning about me. That makes it seem like I live in a dumpster or something. That's not a good look. That's very much not a good look. I hated that. That is definitely like one of my top embarrassing moments of high school, which that bar is very low because I try to keep to myself, but it definitely is up there for one of the most top embarrassing moments of high school. So thank you, Tico, for that if you're watching this. Very, very cool. It's another fun story I have. We'll move on. This was actually from today, from actually a few hours ago. This one's not necessarily as big. I maybe should have started with this one since it is a lot more smaller. But pretty much teachers, some teachers do this thing where they get students and make them in a circle. And they do this exercise to kind of be able for everyone in the class to know everyone's name. Last year I did this actually in one of my classes. And pretty much how it goes is, yeah, you go in a circle. And the teacher's like, okay. The first student starts. So the first student says their name. Then he goes to the next student. This student next to them says the name of the previous student and their name. Then it's the next student. That student says the previous 2 names and then their name. And then the next one. And it keeps going like that until it gets to every student. So if you're early on in the circle, you get to say like 4 or 5 names. You have to remember that many names. But after the very end, you have to remember every single student's name. There's no penalty if you forget their name, but you forget someone's name in front of them. Now, last year, I was very much unfortunate as I was the very last person. Last year, I was the very, very last person. I ended up, I think, just pointing at everyone's like, okay, you say your name. Now you say your name. Now you say your name. I didn't know them. I'm sorry. I forgot. Just next. So, I'm, fun facts about me, I'm horrible at names. I'm horrible. Previous, last year, I had a few, crushes on some girls. And early on in the crush, I would actually forget their name. I would full on just blank on their name. It was it starts with an M or something. I don't know. I would full on forget their name, and that's just the funniest shit ever. How this person you're kind of obsessing over. How do you forget their name? Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't think I'm bad at remembering stuff. Like, for, like, tests and stuff, I usually don't study because I usually, like, the information, I kind of just absorb it, I feel like. With names, no. Can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it. So, yeah, last year sucked. This year, I was actually close to the front. But, even though I was, you know, I think there's, like, 5 other students behind me about. Like, I gotta say their name of. I think I maybe got 2 of them. I think I got 2 of their names. And there was this one girl who I actually sat next to last year in U.S. history. And I'm like, listen, I know I should know your name, but I do not. I do not know your name. Who are you? Who are you? I don't know your name. Like they knew, like, so much about me last year. Like, okay, oh yeah, you're Kai. I'm like, yes, that's me. It's like, oh, you do, like, the school news stuff. I'm like, yep, that's me. And, like, I'd have other people in class literally coming up to me and say, oh my god, are you Kai? And I was like, oh, like, you're Kai, right? You're Kai. Yes, you're Kai. And it doesn't seem like they, like, recognize me from the school news. They just know my name. Maybe someone said it. Maybe I said it once or twice. And they just got it. Like, the person at the end of the circle, during this year, they got everyone's name right the first try. Don't know how. Do not know how. And I messed up on 5 people. On 5. And I was very early on. So yeah, I'm a jerk. I feel really bad where I'm like, oh shit, like, I know you just said your name, but I do not remember it. Could not remember it. Like, sometimes I definitely, like, if I need to talk to someone, I have to look up their name somewhere, like on the student list online or something, because I'm like, listen, I don't remember it. Sorry, just do not. That's why I like the internet. The internet, like, just everyone's names, like, is on their username or whatever like that. So I never, you know, it's very easy to memorize it because the name's always in front of you. But, you know, online, you know, I think what we need to do is everyone just needs to start wearing name tags in person that just says their name, like online, and that'll be chilling. That'll be very nice for me. But yeah, it was definitely a very interesting experience. And besides that first week, I think I don't have too many more stories. I think it was pretty chill. Something I did learn, and this is a little bit of reference to another video, aka the video which I think was the Would You Rather video, or no, it was the debate video. I didn't make a Would You Rather video. The debate Wheelhouse podcast. And I think there's a little bit in there when I talked about Socratic seminars. If you don't know what Socratic seminar is, I'm not going to explain it right now. Just look it up. Just pause the video really quickly. Look it up. I don't have to do a fuck ton for English. Worst thing ever. Fucking hate Socratics. I think they are so badly optimized and focused on a skill that some people don't have. And maybe that is the point of that, is to kind of build that skill. But it honestly doesn't necessarily help build it. So I don't think that is the reason. I think it's just one of the worst things to do in English. So if you've never done it in your in high school, or you're not in high school yet, and just, you know, if you're not in high school yet, look forward to that. Have fun with that. Maybe don't look it up. Have it be a surprise. You know, just live life peacefully before you know what a Socratic seminar is. Yeah. Besides that, it has been pretty chill. I have been talking a little bit more to people and trying to make some new friends, and it's kind of alright. So now we kind of end the the fun version of, or the fun side of this podcast episode. Now I talk about a little bit more of, I guess, not necessarily sad, but not necessarily happy side of this podcast, as I want to kind of talk about my previous high school experience before this. So, the reason I want to do this is obviously I'm a senior now, and I kind of want to, you know, reflect on how I've grown as a person over the years and how I've kind of evolved, and maybe to kind of give some advice to whether you're like early in high school right now, or you're in some type of schooling, maybe you're not in high school yet, or maybe you're past high school, maybe in college. If you're past college, I can't help you. I don't know if this information necessarily applies. I could apply to college. It could apply to college. It's not necessarily advice. It's just life experience. There might be advice in this. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see where this goes. Sorry, drink water. Okay. So, freshman year, it was very tough for me. Freshman year, I think, was one of... sophomore year might have been tougher, but freshman year was definitely a really tough year for me. So, I went into my high school not necessarily knowing anyone. There were some familiar faces. There's some people I've definitely been in class to, but no one I necessarily fully called a friend. And, like, before even high school, I definitely struggled with making a lot of friends in person. I think elementary school, I definitely, like, would try to stick around some people. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're friends. But I think I was always put as a secondary friend. Because here's something I hate when people do is, let's say there's these two friends that are best friends, very best friends. And then there's a third person who kind of comes into the equation and becomes your friend. Sometimes those two best friends will kind of like, you're not like us. We've been best friends forever. We've been doing this and that and this and that. And they'll just keep bringing up the fact that they've been friends for years. For years they've been friends. And that third person just, isn't as special or isn't as that much as a friend. And you can never redeem yourself of that because they'll always be friends for longer. So that's something I got in so many of that situation where I was that third person. Or just, I think there was definitely a few good friends here and there that I met, but you don't really keep your friends from elementary. Not usually. Most of the time you do not. So I definitely struggled in elementary school to where in middle school, obviously, I didn't make all new friends. Middle school, I actually, there's this thing called COVID-19, I believe, which pretty much shut down all the schools, or I made them online. But middle school, I think I experienced about half of it. I think I went through half of middle school in person, half online. And there was a few friends I made in middle school, but honestly, all the friends I made in middle school were really, really bad influence on me. Very bad influence on me. I definitely realized during that I was hanging out with people that weren't good people. But if I didn't hang out with them, I would have actually no one to talk to. So I kind of just stayed with them. But I didn't do the bad stuff. Or at least I tried not to. Maybe there's once or twice I did some shit-ass stuff. But I was still definitely, like, that quiet kid. And when online school came around, I took that opportunity to just cut all my ties with them. I'm like, I straight up told someone, like, listen, you're a bad person. You're a bad influence. I know actually one of them literally tried to make me jump a fence into private property. It was like, I think, a sewer system or something, or like I don't know. It was some sort of private property, and like something that could get us in trouble with the law. I was like, nope, not doing it. I remember I was actually like, I think it was during when we were transitioning to online school, at least around the end of middle school, where I did meet up with this person. We did go on a walk, and they tried jumping the fence, and I literally, like, I walked away, blocked them. Like, that was a very interesting day for me. And I think they kept trying to text me or come to my house. But I completely brushed them off. I was like, this is not happening. I can't believe you led me to this place to try to break into it. And I am okay. That is not something I want to do. But anyways, going to high school, this means I also had no friends. And also, not many people from my middle school actually went to this high school for some reason. So it definitely didn't take long for me to make friends in high school, though. I met Christopher freshman year of high school. I want to say first week. He was sitting right next to me in video production class, and we ended up becoming very good friends. And I met like a few friends here and there. Obviously Tico, Jack / Super Striker, or Sebastian. If you know any of them, they've been around my YouTube stuff. I got to know them truly a lot more last school year. And they're like a grade under me too, so they weren't even there freshman year. But definitely I was Christopher. But I think definitely freshman year, I mean, I've always been an introvert. I don't know if that's been clear. I've definitely said it. But I'm very much an introvert. I'm very much the stereotypical quiet kid. You know, I don't necessarily interact with, and I definitely feel like I feel alienated in like the school environments. I don't feel like I fit in. I feel like the community I kind of grew up in, I don't think I've ever fully fit in. There's a few people that I'm like, okay, we kind of vibe, we're chill. But most people, no, I could not. I could never. You know, like people of my age especially, like I'm like, we don't. I'm sorry, man, but we're not chill. We're not like that. We are not the same person. We are extremely different people. And I don't think we could ever have any sort of friendship. I am definitely very much built different. So in a lot of like classroom settings in freshman year, like besides that main video production one, I had very much trouble making friends. It was hard. It was very much hard. You know, I didn't have like that cycle. Like I would have that like table partner that like, okay, we're like, they're kind of nice, we're chilling, we're fine, but never like any like solid friends. And you know, definitely, where am I going with this? Oh, yes. So a lot of classes freshman year, are more on the hard side. I think how I definitely view high school is that you have, or how my high school has been, is a lot of the harder classes, or the classes you're not that much interested in, happen around the beginning of high school, and you slowly get to do more and more of what you want to do. I think you can change that, but like, kind of change that, but not really. So like, I only had one elective freshman year. I had 0 electives actually sophomore year. Junior year, I had 2 electives, I believe. I had 2 electives. And then this year, I have 3. I have 3 electives this year. So you get to do more and more of what you want to do as time goes on. And freshman year, you know, being in these little bit more challenging classes, or, you know, I think I am generally pretty academically smart. I could very much push myself and be even more and more and get into the advanced classes. I just don't care about that. I honestly don't care about that. And I'll kind of get into that more later. But, you know, these classes, like, yeah, you know, I was taking Spanish at the time too, because at least for colleges, you have to have taken like at least 2 years of language in high school. In the U.S., pretty much every college is like this. Like it is the norm. It is the norm. So which kind of sucks, because, you know, for some people, such as me, learning a new language is extremely hard, especially since, you know, I struggle speaking my own language sometimes. So, you know, there's that. There's like science classes I just don't care about. There's like, you know, I actually you don't take history freshman year, so that was fine. But just like English, sometimes a pain in the ass, especially when you do a fucking seminar. And it was definitely like a pain, and definitely like even being like alienated in there and kind of feeling alone in a lot of those classes, and like kind of, you know, a lot of times I feel like too nervous even like to talk to teachers. I definitely still do. I feel like, you know, I have a lot of social anxiety. I have a lot of social anxiety, and sometimes it is very difficult for me to just go talk to a teacher. I'm like, hey, can I have some help? and maybe I think there definitely has been past experience where teachers just don't respond well to help. Like, I think in middle school, I had an English teacher who fucking hated me. Actually fucking hated me. That's not a joke. I cried in her classroom. Like, this is not an exaggeration. Like, I remember we had to read Percy Jackson, and I got like a illustrated version. Like, had just pictures in it, like here and there. But it was the full book. But it was like, it was different. Like, it wasn't different. Like, it was the same exact wording. Bring it up to the teacher, and she takes a like quick look at it. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is like, it has completely different writing. Probably skips some sections. I'm like, no, I've checked. It's the exact same book. Trust me, I have checked. I've done my research on this. I know what I'm talking about. She's like, no. You have to find a different book. Find a different book. I think there's definitely like even times. I remember there's also like a project where I had to do a road trip. Like, I had to write about a road trip that I've been on. And my family doesn't necessarily do road trips. It's not. If we are traveling, we do take a plane a lot. Maybe the farthest I've traveled. I mean, I've definitely, I don't travel a lot in car. It's usually planes. So I'm like, I don't really have an experience I can talk about in here about a road trip. And I remember just like teachers like, oh, figure it out. Just figure it out. Come on, like, there has to be something. Figure it out. And I'm like, okay, well, like, what the fuck? So I go to my mom's like, the teacher's just, like, not helping me. Like, I'm not exactly sure what to do. So we go talk to her. Or, like, someone get emails, and she comes to me very angry. She's like, listen, if you need fucking help, you come, you talk. You talk to me, okay? You don't need to go to your mom and have her email me. You come to me. I'm like, I did. That is what I did. And I think I've just had experience like that I've just, like, really stuck with me. Like, teachers are scary. there are some teachers that are very, scary, or some like bigger figures that I'm like, more like adult figures. I'm like, oh, they're scary. They're mean, and like sometimes they'll just like be really mean to you if you ask for help. And I think that's definitely carried with me freshman year of high school. And what ended up happening is I actually ended up having like I was freaking out because I was doing bad in some of the classes, and I wasn't necessarily asking the teachers, and then my parents were obviously mad at me for doing bad, which is totally understandable. And that definitely started like just stressing me out, and like honestly making me kind of like scared to start going to school. Just like in case I got like called on, or like I didn't know the answer to something, like then people would think I'm stupid. I think there's even now there's like a lot of things where I don't know, like, and like a lot of like basic things. Like it could be about anything. It could be about politics, like some politic term I don't know about, or like a lot of the college stuff. Here's things here and there I just don't necessarily fully understand. I think there's definitely fear of that, and just like fear of having to interact with the teacher, or kind of having to just be alone in classes. So before school, I'd actually just start having like panic attacks or like anxiety attacks, where I would just like freak out. I'm like, I can't do this. I just fucking can't do this. And sometimes I'd have to like just skip days. I'm like, I can't go to school today. It's too scary. It's too scary. And I think it got so bad to the point where I actually started getting sick. For long periods of time, I would get sick. And it wasn't like something specific. It was definitely like just the stress I was building up over school. And I was like, I can't do this. This is I don't fit in there. It just isn't my space. And I think I ended up freshman year, I passed most of my classes. I ended up passing them because I was doing them at home instead, and like kind of just figuring it out as I go. But I think I ended up freshman year skipping in total 3 months of school. Like, not like consecutively, but like out of all the days, like here and there, like that, all that combined into missing 3 months of school. Which, is not the best. it was a extremely tough start for high school. So, sophomore year, I pretty much begged my parents to do online school, and that's what I did. I ended up doing online school, and it was very nice back then because school. I think online school, it just it feels like you're doing less. It just like you're doing less work in online school, which means you have a lot more free time. Because I feel like in physical school, there's a lot of time where it's either you're needing to take a break from something, or you're going to classes, like eating lunch, or just kind of just waiting, like, because everyone works at a different time. It doesn't, like, that's fine. That's just how it happens. I'm usually more on the faster end of doing stuff. Like, I'm always like the first or second person to turn in a test. And I do well on the test too. Like, I'm one of the top people on a lot of tests. At least in math. math I'm really good at. But, in online school, it kind of cuts all that shit out. And, like, you can work at your own pace. And, I could do classes really done. There was times where I'd still have to, like, kind of go on video calls with teachers, which I really hated. Sometimes I blew those off because I just didn't want to do it. It was scary. Again, social anxiety. Do not like it. And, like, it was also, like, their face cams are on. Like, I don't like that. That's scary. I don't know why it's scary. I think it's so stupid to think, like, shit like that's scary. But I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's scary. So it was a very, it was very weird. But it was nice because I could also easily work on YouTube videos. And it was so nice. And it was just so much easier. But the issue is, again, it didn't feel like I was really in school that much. And that started to reflect in my grade where, like, I just wasn't getting enough support from teachers or being there. Like, having kind of, like, that stress on me that, like, of, like, I don't know, like, just, like, a teacher being there definitely just changed my workflow. And second semester of sophomore year, my parents were like, okay, well, something has to change. So I ended up taking 2 of my classes and actually doing it in person. So I was still having majority of my classes online, but I would have, like, 2 of my classes in person. And this definitely, I did the classes I was mostly struggling in. This was definitely a nice balance because I wasn't in physical school for that much, and I didn't even have to even go every day because block schedule, while still having the comfort of online school. And yeah, again, online school, even the classes I did online school, I don't think I really grasp it as well as I would have in person. So definitely, if you're, like, wondering about online school, it is a very different kind of experience. It is a very much more independent experience, and something where, like, if you don't feel like you fully grasp it, you have to go above and beyond and figure it out yourself. Yes, there's teachers you can talk to, and they'll actually do one-on-one help with you, but a teacher's not always there, and I think that, like, relieves some stress off your shoulder that you actually might need to succeed. There definitely is some amount of stress that is required in order to succeed in school. But it definitely was a very interesting thing to see how well I do. I think I've definitely, like, if I had to do online school this year for senior year, I think I would definitely, like, learn, like, okay, I actually have to just work harder on this and, like, pay attention more. But also, like, a lot of the online stuff was just reading stuff and taking notes. That was a lot of it. Like, I did world history online, and it was pretty much that. I did, like, chemistry. I did my first semester of chemistry online, and it was pretty much that. English, pretty much that. It was, and then you take these tests, which you can cheat on, which I usually did. So it was weird. Like the final test, or like the unit test, you would have to, like, do it in a call and like share your screen, so you couldn't actually cheat on that. But other stuff, it was very unique, and it was also kind of cool. It was strange, but also you miss out on that interaction. They try to do stuff where, like, you interact with other students, but most people I don't think did, and that's also kind of what I liked about it. it was very, no, very weird. It was a very weird experience. So last year, sophomore year, or it's not junior year, I ended up fully going back to school, mostly because my parents forced me. I think last year of high school, I'm not sure. I think our junior year of high school, I think why I was a lot more okay with it is because I had classes that I actually like I took a step back from a lot of the harder classes. Like I ended up not, I think I passed one semester of Spanish, like not even full 2 semesters. They ended up passing 1 semester of Spanish. And I'm like, I fucking can't do this. Like I tried so many times, I kept failing at Spanish. I'm like, you know what? I've tried. It isn't for me. Can't learn it. I think if I tried hard enough and I dedicate myself, I could, but I wasn't in the mindset to do that. I wasn't for the sake of my mental health, it didn't seem worth it to me. So I ended up, like, I can still graduate high school, by the way. It wasn't a threat of graduating high school. It was more of college stuff. So I ended up just not doing those classes and doing just electives that I wanted to do. And a lot of those are video stuff and stuff that actually I'm interested in. And it's funny, in those classes, I can work so well, like, over the normal standard of my age, that a lot of people actually, like, will try to get along with me because I just know how to do stuff and they want me to help them. So it was very different. Like, in my photography class, I wouldn't say I am the best at Photoshop. I still think I am not very much. I'm somewhat an amateur at it. I think I've definitely gotten a lot better over the years. But just everyone else would like literally ask me for help instead of the teacher. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that in Photoshop? How does Lightroom work? Like, I don't understand this. I had a lot of people and I actually made some somewhat class friends while doing that, and I found that very interesting. Or like in my video, like my TV broadcasting classes, I would be able to kind of just put myself into work that I really enjoyed, and I could kind of, I was very much, I was a lot faster at the job than a lot of other people or the work, where I could very much like go at like my own pace or like go bigger and be like really proud of the stuff I'm working on. And I think that was very cool of last year. I was definitely a little bit more on the shy side, but I just, like, at that point, I'm just gonna get myself out there. What the fuck, whatever. I'm just gonna, like, just try to be more, like, online me in real life. And it definitely somewhat worked. I definitely was able to somewhat talk to more people. But it definitely was, like, very interesting. It was a very interesting time. It was slightly better. And I don't know. I guess I don't know what clicked there, because I don't think I had one class, I think, junior year, where I knew someone, like I actually had a friend in the class, like someone I considered a friend, which is Christopher. I had Christopher in math class. But I don't know. It was definitely a different vibe. I definitely had days where I would still kind of skip here and there, just because, just some days you just don't want to go to school. But it wasn't nearly as bad as freshman year. Freshman year was a lot worse. And I didn't really have that stress anymore. I think mostly just because I knew how to do the stuff, and that was something I was kind of fine with. I guess I felt just a lot more confident. Just, yeah, I felt more chill. Confident. I felt more confident in what I was doing. And then this year, I'm definitely, I think, trying to overall kind of just be even more open. Like, actually, last year, for like the first time ever in high school, I revealed that I had a YouTube channel. And when people would like kind of like ask anything about it, I'd kind of say, "Yep, do YouTube. I do YouTube." I would bring it up. I'd be like, yeah, I do a little thing called YouTube, because it was kind of just relevant in some classes, and it was also kind of a part of me. I feel like I'm definitely not fully me without YouTube at this point. I've definitely built my life so much around YouTube. So not bringing up my YouTube channel is like not fully showing who I am, because it is a very, I think, important aspect of me. And originally, like before I even got out of high school, I remember there's like people telling me like, do not bring up your YouTube. You'll regret it. People will make fun of you. You'll regret it. And for the most part, no. Not much has actually come out of me saying I have a YouTube channel. I think I've actually had some teachers here and there ask about it, and for the most part, they've been pretty supportive about it. I've definitely, in my video production class last year, I had some, or TV broadcasting, sorry. I had some kids who would actually like pull up some like the YouTube videos, like for example, one of them pulled up the Peaches music video, the video that Weedy sang, and they like started trying to joke about it. I was like, oh my god, you're singing in this? Obviously trying to make me embarrassed. I'm like, nope, that's not me. That's my friend. And I'm like, why are we doing this? That's so stupid. You know, obviously I didn't feel embarrassed because it wasn't me, and you know, it's fun videos. I don't like, it's not stupid. Like definitely I can get embarrassed here and there when they're like fucking people like blasting my videos in just classrooms. Like that happened. That happened. Like I just remember hearing, "Hello, my name is Crimpy Miyamoto, similar to Shigeru Miyamoto." Just the opening of the the Mario Bros. Movie video. So I mean, stuff like that was stupid, but like at the end of the day, it was kind of better. It was interesting. I'll leave it at that. It was interesting, but I don't regret putting it out there because I think it is just a part of me. And also, I almost wore a hat every day last year that said Crimpy Wheel on it. I have currently 3 hats in my closet that say Crimpy Wheel on it. Fun fact, I'm going to start a museum one day, the Crimpy Wheel Museum, where you can see the evolution of the Crimpy Wheel hat. It started off black and yellow, and then went to camo and white. And then, like, camo, like, the hat was camo, the text was white. And then now it's black and red. And I don't know if there is going to be another evolution. There definitely could be. I don't know how much more I can fine-tune the Crimpy Wheel hat. But, you know, it would just feel like something I had to kind of talk about. This year, or so far this first week of senior year, I've definitely still try to be more open. Try to do like the same thing I was doing last time. Just like be more open and kind of just more be myself and just try to talk to people. I was just like at some point like I just, you know, I do want people to kind of talk to in high school. I think it's good to kind of have friends, especially in classics. It'll definitely help you out. I think a lot of people at this age have matured a lot more. I don't think everyone's still there. I think a lot of the guys too are, you know, they're not fully there. they're not fully there. But it is, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there. I haven't really brought up actually YouTube this school year. I've had a lot of opportunities to, but I've kind of stayed away from it, just saying I do video editing. Sometimes it's just not needed to bring up my YouTube channel, I found. Like when I was presenting example, when I was talking about like that story about Tico putting trash in my hood, I could have definitely said I do YouTube up there, but I guess I didn't see a reason for it at that point. I don't know. I think it is still very interesting balancing when to talk about YouTube and when not to talk about YouTube, because it is a lot about pony, but also yeah, I do video editing. You could technically classify a lot about what I do on YouTube is video editing, but it is obviously a lot more than that, and I think I just wanted to keep it to video. And like no one's like, I say video editing and then no one digs into it. Like like oh yeah, what do you do in free time? I do video stuff, and everyone's like okay. I'm like if they were to ask questions, I'd say yeah, I do video stuff. I meant YouTube. That's what I meant. So it is that like just people aren't asking questions about that. So I'm like, oh, I'll just leave it be, whatever. No one's asking. If no one's trying to dig into it and figure out more about me, that's fine. They don't need to know. It'll be my secret. Um, but I think definitely in terms of if what I've been doing has kind of improved, me making friends in classes, it is very much still yes and no. Like for example, we had a school event today where we had to go to like the gym, and it's called a pep rally. I don't know if that is a normal. I think it's a normal high school thing. It's called a pep rally. It's pretty much to get everyone in like the school spirit and stuff like that. And they usually do it around the beginning of the year and before like homecoming and all of that. It's usually for homecoming, I believe. You know, people. I see everyone like going there paired up with friends and stuff, and like I'm coming from my class where I know no one. And it's definitely those moments where I'm just like walking there by myself and then experiencing the show by myself and then leaving that show by myself and walking back to class and just sitting alone. Where it's like this still definitely sucks. Like I think definitely at this point senior year, everyone's kind of made their friends. Everyone's kind of made their friends. Like, yep, we're cool. We're done. I think I definitely in some classes I can see that'll change a little bit, but in a lot of them, no. People have just established this is my friend group. This is the people we chill with. The end. You know, which definitely it sucks. It definitely sucks. So it's high school has been honestly a pretty poor time for me. It's not been that fun. It really has not been that fun. There has been some fun times. There's definitely been some fun times in high school. I can't say all of it's bad, but a lot of it is. I don't think I'm much of a school person, just because, like, I find it a lot more easier to talk to people online. I don't know why. I mean, like, a lot of people noob and bully me, but I'm still able to like communicate with people better. I don't know what it is about it. What changes? Like maybe it's like, is it literally just because you see my name and you can click on it and then you can go to various links, or like you just like does the presence of my YouTube channel change how people perceive about me? I don't know. I think it's weird. It's definitely weird. Like figuring out how everything kind of clicks and works together. I mean, definitely, if I were to have it, like, I just wish, like, everyone... I don't wish this. Never mind. Scratch that. I wish people in real life would kind of just be more open to talking to other people. I mean, part of it is technically my fault, too, but also I have social anxiety. And, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I try my best. I try my best in real life. I try my best. Now, this moves on to our other slightly big topic here. I know we're already an hour in, but hey, we are not done. We're like almost done. Home stretch. I promise. A little bit more school stuff, and we are going to talk about the fun stuff of college. Woo! So yeah, this is senior year of high school, and it shouldn't be a surprise that they talk to you. I mean, in all of high school, they talk to you a lot about college, and like almost every kid has. I mean, at this point, senior year, you have it figured out what college you're eyeing, or what few colleges you're eyeing, or like what you're going to college for. Now, college is a very interesting topic for me. Definitely, I think before high school, it was like a no-brainer. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to college. I don't know. That's just part of like the process. Like you go to elementary school, then you go to middle school, then you go to high school, and you go to college. That's the process. Because I definitely I feel like the community, like how it was taught growing up, it was that if you don't go to college when like after high school, you're just genuinely gonna be less successful in life. Which as I've grown up, don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think that is true. But for me, it is very different. So I do YouTube. Didn't know I have this little thing I call it the Computer Channel. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I do YouTube videos on the internet. Um, and, you know, I definitely want this to be a job. It isn't a job yet. I actually, fun fact, earn $0 from YouTube. I actually probably lose money because of YouTube. So, I want to make a job. Where my channel sits now, it's technically nowhere near that. I mean, within a month, any channel, I believe, could blow up and become a job. But my channel most likely will be in a very similar place in the next month. But I guess the main question I'm trying to figure out is where my YouTube channel is going to be in the next year. I mean, less than a year, honestly, is what I'm asking for. Where's my YouTube channel going to be when I graduate, pretty much? And that's the most important question. And honestly, that's very much going to dictate what I do after high school. So, college for me, for a long time, I believe is honestly mainly off the table for me. Now, there are many reasons for this. One, I believe that in high school, I did not take a lot of the required classes that you need to take to get into some colleges. Specifically, the one about languages I was talking about earlier, like Spanish. Like, you have to have 2 years of Spanish to pretty much get into any college. You have to. Doesn't matter what college, you pretty much have to. There's some here and there that I don't think require it, but you have to. Second reason, money. College costs money, and that's something I have to consider because if I go to college, I'm probably going to need to get a job. I mean, I don't know how much my parents would necessarily pay for it, but I'd probably have to get a job. Third reason, well, for one, I'd have to get a college that's somewhat near where I live, because I have my whole PC set up here, and yes, I believe you can do YouTube while being in college, but, you know, I definitely want to still have my whole PC set up, and I don't believe you can really do that in a dorm room that you're sharing with someone else, especially with dodgy internet and shit like that. You know, not something I'm looking forward to. Also, another reason, don't like school. I don't think school's for me. I think I do learn pretty well from other stuff. I've done a lot of this YouTube stuff that I've learned. Another reason that I don't think I'm gonna go to college, or I don't that college off the table, is that for one, I want to be a YouTuber. Now, there is no such thing as a YouTuber college. Not a thing. Wish it was a thing. You just get certified for being YouTube, and then you have for some reason a lot higher chance to, you know, become a YouTuber, and then you climb the ranks and you just get better and better and better, but you're getting paid for it the whole time, a steady paycheck. It's not reality. The closest thing to a quote unquote YouTuber college is a little thing called film school. Now I live near LA. I'm not gonna fully dox myself. I live near LA, somewhat near LA, aka Hollywood, and obviously I live in like the birthplace of movies, pretty much. Now there's definitely film schools here I can go to, and I've definitely actually looked it up about going to film schools, and I believe there are actually some film schools I technically could go to despite not taking some classes in high school. I don't think it even counts any classes in high school. It costs money. Money is obviously something, but I don't think in terms of high school it's a pretty separate thing. Again, not fully informational on college stuff, but anyways, besides the point. Now I could do this. I could go into film school and get a film degree or in something in film. I don't know what specifically, but something in film. And I could get out. And I could have a degree. What would I do with the degree? That's the question. Because, I mean, degree doesn't necessarily mean shit in terms of YouTube. It definitely, for me, I don't see a purpose of going to college. Because, let's say I go to film school. For one, film school is not going to teach me much. I've learned a lot of stuff I need to know, or stuff I have access to. I can look it up on the internet. Not a big deal. I've researched people who have actually been to film school and kind of their opinion on it and whether other people should go to film school. And people who's gone to film school, there's one big thing that people have said about it is that it is very good at kind of teaching you to work with other people within film. But I already do that. I technically already do that. I've done that a lot, actually. I've actually had a lot of experience with that. Almost every YouTube video is a collaboration with a lot of people. I guess technically they are my friends, so maybe it would be more experience with strangers. But it definitely is a skill. I don't know. I feel like that is a skill you can get from YouTube. So the only reason I feel like I would go to film school is to get a degree for a job that I don't know what I'd want. Because a degree is not going to help me in YouTube. It's just not going to help me. And I don't want it, like, the case to be I go to film school because I don't know what else to do. You know, that seems stupid to me. Because that's a waste of money. And I'll probably end up dropping out because I won't enjoy it. Yeah, it's film, but, like, you know, it's school at the end of the day. And I prefer not to do any more school. And that's very much the question for me, is, like, there is no guidebook of how to start a YouTube channel. I mean, people have tried to make one, but I don't think any have been successful, really. Most of it is about figuring it on your way out. Like, you can't, like, look up, like, how to get rich or how to get famous on YouTube. I mean, there are some information out there that will definitely help you and guide your way, but it is definitely something where you just gotta work at it for years. Work at it years until it works. So it's definitely me just trying to figure out what does after high school look like, because I can't just stay home and do YouTube all day. That's not happening. Obviously, my parents would not allow that, and I don't think I'd allow myself to do that because I do need to make some sort of living. Like, I'm not worried about moving out of my parents' house or anything crazy like that. Right after high school, like, I'm definitely staying with my parents like a few years after high school. Like, I have no plans, no near plans of moving. Like, I am, like, yes, I'm gonna be an adult next month. Fun fact. But I'm very much not independent. You know, and I will not be for a while still. So I'm not in risk of having to survive the outside world. But it is definitely trying to figure out, like, okay, what can we kind of do here? Because college, you know, I don't know. Something with me and going to college doesn't click. Doesn't feel like it feels like a safe path. Not that, like, I want to take a safe path. You know, I want to, like, YouTube is a risky, and I don't like that it's risky, but I care about it enough where I'm willing to take that risk. But you need a backup plan. You know, it's like, okay, what if YouTube doesn't work? You know, what am I doing? What am I doing while working on YouTube is the very big question. Because I don't think there are many answers to that. I mean, the obvious one is just, like, go get a job. Start, like, go work at Chick-fil-A. Okay, I'll go work at Chick-fil-A. For how long? You know, what is the time deadline? Like, I'll always work on YouTube. But there's only a certain period of time where I'll be fully focusing on YouTube. YouTube, for now on until it's successful, will always be a part-time job. And it will get more and more part-time as I grow up, because unless it, you know, succeeds, and it's figuring out when that's going to succeed. So this music build, I'm sorry, hold on, it sounded like a tense and cinematic. I'm just changing that Minecraft music really quickly. Minecraft music, you got a little bit too much there, man, a little bit too much. But it's definitely figuring out how, you know, what is that balance like? When is the cutoff point? And I think definitely, you know, my goal for a while is to at least give the hint of success, like around when I graduate high school, where I feel confident in it. I'm like, okay, this is something I can focus on moving forward. Because in terms of Phil, I don't care about working in Hollywood. I think working in Hollywood right now is one of the worst ideas someone could have. Studios are treating all their employees so fucking poorly. Don't know if you've heard, there was a strike that happened recently about AI trying to take over writers and actors. And for a long time, studios like, nope, we are not gonna pay our writers or even guaranteed their job safety, which is a fucked up thing to do. Especially, I think Disney was like one of the big ones up there that was truly just being fucked up. Just didn't seem right. And editing can very much fall into that. And there's a lot of crunch around shit in Hollywood. Hollywood's a mess. Don't care to be in there. Movies are cool. Love movies. Don't want to be a part of it. Don't care to be part of it. Truly don't. I know I do a lot of cinematic things on my channel and stuff relating around movies, but I don't actually care about making a movie. You know? Like, I like making stuff, but I don't... Okay, it's not actually I don't care about making a movie. I don't care about being a part of Hollywood. That's what I don't care about. But anyways, it's kind of figuring out, okay, well, it's not that. What is there to do? And for me, it is always like, I don't think I'll feel as much passion as I do for anything else than YouTube. YouTube is definitely the big ticket item on here. Like, if my channel doesn't work out, I'll go edit for another YouTuber. That's that's what I want to do. Easy. I want to stay in the YouTube stuff. But it's definitely the question, like, when do I commit to taking a different path and stuff like that? I don't know. It is definitely like a lot where I'm having to think about this stuff now. And I'm having to because my parents keep asking about it. It's like, okay, well, you're going to college? You're going to college? Like for them, it's like, okay, after high school, you're either going to college or you're getting a job. Either one, you get a pick. You get a pick. My family's not forcing me to go to college. Honestly, my mom's like, college is not necessary in this day of age. It's about experience, which I 1,000% agree with. I 1,000% agree with that. In this day and age, it's about experience, and I have a lot of it. Maybe not a lot of successful experience, in like the eyes of someone on the outside. But I do have experience, and I do have a lot of stuff I'm doing here. So, college is, and I should have said this disclaimer earlier. Don't let this conversation about college that I'm having right now decide whether you go to college or not. I'm not saying anyone who's watching this that they should not go to college. I think college is 100% needed for a lot of career paths and for a lot of people. But there's also some that it's not. I'd say, if anything, have this video be a jumping off point where you do some more research on whether if college is a choice for you, or have this be the jumping off point where you can go talk to some people about it, and have this point be where you go research. Don't have this be the starting point, please. I'm not qualified enough to tell someone to go or not to go to college, because I personally don't have the experience. Like, I could be very stupid dumb right now, or I could be very smart, but we won't know until like 10 years down the line, 10 or 5 years. 5 years, like, definitely, I don't know. I've been going on a rant this podcast. I apologize. I've been all over the place. But definitely, it is a very chaotic time in my life right now. And there's a lot of stuff that are kind of very scary. And pretty much for YouTube, it is definitely like, this has to work. I mean, this was a lot about what last year's Rewind was about. Like, the last Rewind that came out. Is very much like being scared of this not working out. Because in a world where this doesn't work out, what am I going to do? So it is very interesting because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people who want to be a YouTuber nowadays. And I think I have been taking the right steps this year to kind of go towards succession. Like, I think having opportunities where I'm like, okay, I'm not only gonna be doing Minecraft for the rest of, like, this is not a Minecraft specific channel anymore. I'm open to doing more stuff. I will be honest, I've not had many big ideas outside of Minecraft stuff at the moment, but that's good because I think Minecraft's content, it's like, I don't know when it's gonna die, but it's definitely not gonna stay for much longer. I feel. I don't feel like Minecraft is definitely my future, and like full future. Like, I think I'll definitely have essence of Minecraft always, but it's definitely just trying to find my feel. Like, okay, what are people wanting to watch? You know, what are people wanting to see of me, and stuff like that. So it's definitely just taking time and figuring it out. Like I've literally started a Google spreadsheet to just figure out more analytics. Like, okay, what videos did well? What do people want to see more? Because I think sometimes I kind of just ignore this stuff because I just want to make a video. And I think definitely some of my friends will also be like, oh yeah, let's make another one of these videos. These are fun. Or like, let's make this. This is a really cool idea. I'm like, yeah, that sounds really fun to do. But also, no one's gonna watch it. I mean, besides us. And it will always be a good time to make. And sometimes it is worth making it. But it's definitely more focused on like, okay, we need to make sure we're making videos that are gonna do well. But yeah, so that's how life has been so far for me. This rest of this year is gonna be very interesting. I'm very proud of the growth I was able to make this summer. I think definitely always I will always wish I've done more. I think that is just always something I always raise the bar. I'm like, okay, no, wait, I could have done more. But I think realistically, I think I did pretty well. You know. I think the rest of this year I am very much going to focus more on, like, you know, videos that a lot of people are going to want to see. And I'm going to honestly just try to turn down the scale more so I could just experiment more. Like, again, projects need to just take a chill pill for a little while. You know, projects are a little bit too much at the moment. Too many projects that I'm having to be worrying about. I don't wanna worry about it right now. So, yeah, it's just me and my friends trying to figure this shit out. So yeah, I mean, I hope you continue supporting this channel and what I do on here. It's gonna be an interesting school year, senior year. You're definitely gonna probably hear more about it. And let's hope I get a girlfriend, because you know, it's that'll be cool and awesome. So yeah, again, thank you for watching this episode. I do got some good stuff on the way. Hopefully, I'll make some more content for the Wheelhouse. It has been a little bit of a slow summer for the Wheelhouse, but I think that's understandable. I definitely want to do an episode on my broken foot and kind of fully talk about that more and kind of like how it's been going. But I am still in like a weird phase where like if I need physical therapy, then I might hold on until I know my foot's pretty much 100% okay. So we'll kind of see when that episode comes out. You know, it might take a month, but month or two. I'm kind of seeing how my foot's going, because it's definitely like I'm still like limping a little bit. Like I'm trying my best, but I'm like wearing normal shoes now. Like you really have to pay attention to my walking to notice that I'm kind of walking weirdly. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy what I'm doing. If you have any ideas for future episodes that you want to see, it doesn't have to be serious. Like this one could be pretty goofy and funny. We do need some more goofy and funny Wheelhouse episodes. Or, you know, if you have any ideas for the main channel, you also put them down in the description. Fun fact, I also have a Discord channel. If you want to join the Discord channel, I believe I linked these in the Discord. Yeah, the Discord server is probably in the description. I'll have to actually double check that one. If not, go to my main channel, click on one of the videos, and it's in one of those descriptions, guaranteed. I run Discord server, and this is kind of where I give all these updates on stuff like this, and kind of like how videos are going, how Wheelhouse is going, how all of that is going. But yeah, that's about all. I think I pretty much covered everything. I do want to make it clear that I am okay. Again, the Wheelhouse will never be a place where I have like a cry for help. This is always a point for me to kind of just say things, just get things out there, or maybe kind of like maybe say something that'll make you guys think about some stuff differently. So yeah, again, thank you for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.